Hello people, and welcome to Crypto Exposed. BitBoy says XRP set to flip Bitcoin dominance growth. Here's how. Okay guys, let's get into it. So, there's one thing that I want to just clearly distinguish here. There's a very big difference between Bitcoin's dominance and Bitcoin's price, okay? What we're talking about here is Bitcoin's dominance. And so, there's actually a chart called Bitcoin dominance, and that's basically, it's the dominance that Bitcoin has over the rest of the crypto market, okay? And the reason that this chart exists is because basically, you know, Bitcoin is what leads the market. People can try and say whatever they want to say, you know, try and make any kind of claims that that's not the case, but it's just simply the truth, right? Like, if Bitcoin takes a tumble, the whole of the crypto market is taking a tumble with it, right? Even if you think about how, you know, alt season works, like how alt season works is Bitcoin's dominance drops to a significant low, and that's when the altcoins can then take over and perform better than Bitcoin, right? Because what basically happens is people invest in Bitcoin first and foremost because it's the main crypto, right? It's the OG, it's the top dog as it stands right now. And so people invest in Bitcoin primarily because it's the safest, you know, the safest crypto asset. And then once they get their, you know, their gains out of Bitcoin, they eventually start to sell. And that's when they start to say, what other cryptocurrencies are there out there that I could maybe get some money out of? And so they basically just look at other cryptos and just cycle money into different cryptos. And so they'll take the money out of Bitcoin, put it into Ethereum, get some money out of Ethereum. That's when, you know, Ethereum will massively go up because then other people will FOMO buy in as well, leading to a huge price rally. They eventually take the money out of Ethereum and they say, okay, what's next? Oh, XRP. Put their money into XRP. XRP goes up again. They take the money out of XRP. And they just cycle this through numerous different cryptocurrencies. That's basically what an alt season is. And so the Bitcoin dominance is basically when the dominance that Bitcoin has over the market is dropping. And that's how the alt season begins, because they're then putting money into the altcoins rather than Bitcoin. They're taking the money out of Bitcoin, right? And so what BitBoy's basically saying here is that XRP is like set to flip Bitcoin's dominance. And I think the reason why he's saying this is because obviously when XRP had its like 300 to 500% rally, that was something that like outperformed against Bitcoin's dominance, right? It actually led to Bitcoin's dominance being affected, and XRP alone, because as I say, it's usually against the whole market, right? But what happened in this instance is XRP alone, because XRP performs so magnificently, that alone was actually going against Bitcoin's dominance. And so what he's basically saying is that XRP could be set to, you know, flip Bitcoin's dominance and have a, you know, a stronger hold over the market. Do I think this is possible? I think it's possible. I don't know how quick we're talking though, because again, like, it's the same thing when it comes to price, like, because let me just make this clear. If you're talking about XRP taking over Bitcoin's price, and if we're talking like this market cycle, I'm just going to tell you now, guys, that is not happening. There is just literally, the odds of that are like 0.000.01%. It's just literally, the odds of that are just very slim. But in terms of like the dominance, yeah, like we're seeing now that Bitcoin is, you know, starting to stagnate just a little bit, and you know, XRP has as well, but there's still going to be more room with XRP, and this is why we invest in altcoins over Bitcoin for a lot of us, generally speaking, is because, you know, Bitcoin's already had its time. You know, Bitcoin's gone up so significantly now that it takes so much money to get real money, you know, real value out of Bitcoin. You know, like if I wanted to double my money in Bitcoin, Bitcoin's got to go from like, let's just say $100,000, you know, let's just say it's around there now because I've not really checked it in a while, but it's got to get like from $100,000 to $200,000 just for me to double my money. Do you understand how much value's got to go into Bitcoin to get it to that kind of price? Whereas with XRP, it could go from, let's just go with like $2 that it's at now, something like that. It's got to just get to $4. Can you see how much easier that sounds rather than Bitcoin having to get a whole another $100,000? And so the upside potential is way bigger for XRP, you know? So, you know, in terms of XRP surpassing like Bitcoin's value long term, I think that's possible. I'm not saying it's a guarantee at all. I'll just be honest with you, because Bitcoin is kind of getting that reputation now where it's like digital gold. Like, it's actually surpassed gold in market cap. So like Bitcoin is really becoming its own, even just as a store of value. So even though it's not really useful in terms of like, it's not useful in terms of like utility or anything like that, people are just treating it like a digital gold. And that's what gold's like, right? You don't do anything with gold. You just invest in it because it's just a valuable asset. And that's the way they're treating Bitcoin. And so because it's getting that kind of reputation, I don't know, because Bitcoin could have just solidified its future now at this point. Do you know what I mean? Getting to these kind of numbers that it has, it's kind of becoming a thing where Bitcoin is being recognized now as a significant, player in the crypto space. So I don't know in that regard, but it is possible because, the thing is with Bitcoin is the first of its kind, but as I said, it has no utility. All it can be is a store of value. And so when you start to look at the crypto industry and it gets more accepted, like regulations and things like that, and people realize, oh, like you can actually really do some interesting things with these cryptocurrencies. We can actually like change industries and things like that. That's when it might be a thing of, okay, they start embracing all cryptos a lot more now. And then that's when it could be that Bitcoin starts to fade out a bit because they're like, okay, yeah, Bitcoin's cool and all, but all you can do is use it as a store of value. We want these cryptos that are actually going to help change the industries, like revolutionize, the finance industry and, tokenization and things like that, like, the gaming industry, all these kind of industries that can be just changed through these cryptocurrencies. And so it could be that once that happens, Bitcoin kind of gets left in the dust. It's a very real possibility, but, it's not going to happen within the next few months. That's just not going to happen. Like no chance at all. But long term, a very real possibility. But in terms of the dominance, yeah, I mean, we're seeing what XRP can do now, like, and the thing I will say is like part of the reason why I believe this run has been so impressive so far, the way it like flew up like 300 to 500% is because XRP has been suppressed for so long. Like you got to understand that, like, for some of us, while like this is great to see, XRP is just getting back to where it should have been before the whole lawsuit and all that stuff that was, suppressing XRP. Like a lot of people are just seeing XRP getting back to its rightful place. Do you know what I mean? Like you got to understand that some people brought XRP at like the cycle top of 2017, which was like $3.30 or something like that. So they're still waiting to be in profit. That, they've not really had that yet. They're waiting for like a new all-time high. So you got to understand that different people are in at different stages. So not everybody at the moment seeing this are like, oh yeah, that's good. Like it's great for it to see like, yeah, it's looking like it's getting back into its stride, but they're still waiting to be in profit. Do you see what I'm saying? And so you've just got to understand that like there are people out there who are still waiting for the big moment, right? And I think that's what we've got to see from here, which I believe is going to come because I believe we are still in the bull run. So I'm not saying it's not happening. I do believe it's going to come, but that's when we'll see XRP's true performance. Like when it gets into the new level of price discovery, the new all-time high territories, like that's when we'll see its true performance because that's when it's like the new level of discovery that we've not yet seen. This is when we see how far can it really go then now, which I think we'll be happy. I mean, I say it depends on your, perspective. Some people want like these $10,000 numbers and stuff like that. I don't believe that's happening. But for me, like if you're happy to look at like, for example, like double digits, I think, double digits is very possible. Again, I'm not a fortune teller, so I'm not saying that this is going to happen as a guarantee. This is just my personal expectations, something like that. I think it can get to double digits personally. So if you're happy with that kind of price action, I believe that can happen. I'm not saying it will, I don't know, but I think it can get there. So that's what I'm kind of anticipating more than anything. But yeah, I definitely think it's a possibility in terms of the dominance because if XRP really does break out and it's as significant as it was with this 300 to 500% run, it could just completely break Bitcoin's dominance. I think that's a very real possibility. So we'll see. Time will tell. But yeah, I just want to make sure there's a clear distinction on this because I do think people will see this and might think that, that he's talking about price. And there's a very big difference. In terms of price, I'm just letting you know, guys, I wouldn't get your hopes up on that at all because in my opinion, I'm telling you that's just not going to happen. Bitcoin is light years ahead at the moment as it stands right now for XRP to try and catch up. No chance at all. If anything, it should be setting its sights on Ethereum. And even with Ethereum, that's a big task because Ethereum is quite a bit ahead as well. And obviously Ethereum will have its own run in this bull run too. So it's going to go higher as well. So, if anything, it should be, aiming its sights on Ethereum, not Bitcoin. And as I say, for me, I just think that even that's a big ask. But like for me, guys, I don't think you should be focusing on stuff like that. Like the fact is like, what's it going to get to make you guys substantial profit? That's what it's all about. I don't really like, it's nice to see, you know, these kind of things happen. And in terms of Ethereum, I would like to see it more just from like a vindication point of view for everything that, you know, Ethereum put us through in terms of like the pay to play, what they did, you know, the shady stuff like ETHgate and all that. But like for me, I'm here to make money. So I'm not just like, it's not like for me, it's just like the accolade of, oh yeah, it's beat Ethereum, it's beat Bitcoin. It's like, what's going to get us good profit? You know, realistically good profit. That's what I set my focus on, and that's how I view it. So I'm not saying you have to look at it the same way as me. Obviously, if you guys want the, you know, the accolade of beating Ethereum and that kind of stuff, I get it. That's fine. But to me, if you just focus on those things, you're kind of getting distracted from the potential price action that you could be getting. That's all I'm saying. So I'll leave it there. But yeah, in terms of the dominance, I think that's a possibility. So we'll see how this goes. Thank you very much for watching this. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And hit that bell. Take care.